are specializing in freedom of speech laws, and that's her whole argument. She's like, this is freedom of speech, but it's not. You can't. Freedom of speech doesn't protect. I'm not a lawyer, full disclosure, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't protect lies, full-on lies that destroy people's career. So good luck with that one, Amber. I don't think you're going to win it. Presently at a loss due to a lack of projects and endorsements. Go figure. Defaming someone has consequences and is not protected by the First Amendment, by the way.
Please remember this. Just because you add speculation warning at the beginning of your videos does not mean you can follow that up with blatant lies.
So Amber is upset that Margot Robbie and Cara Delevingne turned their backs on her after she lost to Johnny Depp, that Amber hired a paparazzi to attack them for revenge. But the weird thing about this is that an insider says Amber was behind the ambush. Amber hired this paparazzi to almost antagonize Margot Robbie and Cara Delevingne to do something that they would later regret, so that there would be bad press about them, because Amber is upset that Margot and Cara are no longer her friend. Let's listen to what the insider had to say.
So Amber actually attacked Margot and Cara in Argentina. They were rushed by like a paparazzi, and the paparazzi was given the direction to actually have a Princess Diana situation flash his light as they were driving off in the hopes that they would get into an accident. But it all backfired, because little did the photographer know that there was 2 filmmaker friends with them that would charge him. So in a last-ditch effort, the paparazzi guy threw himself in front of a moving vehicle in hopes that Cara and Margot would be blamed for his injuries. He ended up shattering his arm, and the filmmaker friends are being detained in Argentina, and Margot and Cara are being questioned about the situation. It totally rattled Cara up, who's going through a mental health crisis right now. So Amber really succeeded. Amber is trying to turn the media against her former friend who turned their backs on her. She's out for revenge, and she won.
So yeah, this has really resulted in sort of a fallout within the media, and it's all because of Amber's doing. So wow. I can't believe that Amber literally hired a paparazzi. I mean, we should have put that past her, considering that what she's doing in Spain. She's hiring paparazzi to take photos of her with her rental baby. But this is to a whole new level, like sending a paparazzi onto her ex-friends to cause havoc and chaos as a form of revenge. And, it does seem to be working. The tides seem to have turned against Margot, who has been replaced by Lady Gaga in her role as Harley Quinn. And then we have Cara, who's having a full-on meltdown in the press. I really wonder if Amber actually called the paparazzi on Cara while she was having that meltdown, just to photograph that and put it all in the press. But this is absolutely insane to learn that Amber potentially hired this paparazzi to get back at her old friends. What do you guys say?
Difference between the actual article and his. The original article does not have audio over the video. He added that to his video to make it look like it was a part of the Daily Mail article, and it was not. He added all the insider audio. Check description for links to all articles mentioned.
A neighbor in Mallorca, Spain has reached out and said that they caught Amber on CCTV dropping the kids off at the pool. But it looks like Amber doesn't really fit into this upscale neighborhood, because the neighbors are complaining. This person writes, the neighbors hate having her around. She's constantly drinking and partying. It's completely ruining the vibe of our town. And it's crazy to me because she possibly has a kid with her. Anyway, this morning I found a human-sized Grumpy on the sidewalk near her place, and sure enough, our CCTV caught her squatting and dropping a deuce. We want her gone. And this is what their CCTV camera caught. It really does look like Amber there squatting in front of looks like a pole, and she's just having a really good time with her friends, possibly Bianca Buddy and that furniture designer we talked about the other day. But yeah, it looks like they're just really awkward and uncomfortable as Amber just does her thing right in front of them. And there's another one. Again, she looks like she's finding it really funny, and her friends feel really uncomfortable. And yeah, the neighbors circled the red mark where they found the eventual evidence. And I blurred it out for everybody, but it does look human-sized. And it sounds a lot like something Amber would do. That was a crazy story. It looks like Amber is not wanted in this small town.
Let's take a closer look at the pics that this so-called insider provided. Let's take a closer look. Question mark. So the quality is so bad you can't make out anything but can clearly tell it's Amber's face? Could they be photoshopped? Let's see. Do you see how the 2 different photos of her face overlap so well? That's because these 2 photos are photoshopped using photos of her that recently came out. They simply switched the photo to the reverse and edited onto a random person's body.
Looks like tensions between Amber and her girlfriend, or I thought it was her wife, came to a head this week and resulted in a blowout fight where security had to be called. And hotel security in Tel Aviv says, quote, Amber and her girlfriend were staying at our hotel when neighbors began to complain about the noise coming from their room. We ran upstairs and the door was ajar. We heard glass breaking and Amber yelling something along the lines of, you support so-and-so. We go in because it sounded violent. That's when the shorter woman with the brown hair ran to the corner and cowered. Amber immediately ran to the bathroom and wrapped her hand up in a bandage. She told us to get out as she's a paying customer, and that's when the woman cowering in the corner made a run for the door. The situation de-escalated, so we just left. But our security cameras captured what looked like a topless Amber dragging Eve back into her room. Wow. So Eve has always denied Amber's DV allegations, despite having a candid photo of her taken with a shiner. Yeah.
He makes it look as though this was published on the Daily Mail because of the logo in the corner, but it was not. He even doubles down on Twitter by faking a comment saying the Daily Mail removed it. I can promise you if this was accurate, other news outlets would have the story and the Daily Mail would not have deleted. He also comments on Eve having what he calls a shiner. He says this in another video as well.
Really peculiar and really caught my eye. I mean, besides Amber's just been in a fight hairdo, does Eve look like she has a shiner on both of her eyes, or is it just me? Like, I'm not saying she does. I'm saying it looks like she does, or maybe she's just not getting a lot of sleep because they're always up all night arguing. I hate it. It just looks like it.
Do you know why it looks like she has a bruised eye? Because it's photoshopped. I will show both the photo he shows along with the original. And this is the tweet he made trying to make it look like a real article by faking a comment. A closer look at the comment.
Looks like Amber is returning to her roots as a dancer, but it's not going as planned. In this exclusive interview with one of Amber's former coworkers at a dance club, yeah, it turns out that Amber got too close to one of the clients and ended up transferring something to them. Anyway, let's roll the clip. It ended up getting her fired, and so let's get into it.
I worked with Amber very early on as a worker at a baby doll club. And yeah, she was just very strange, very erotic. We all thought she was acting very suspiciously. She would go on stage and start stealing other people's money and starting fights with the other girls. And it was in her first week, I believe, that she was just acting this crazy in front of everybody. We were all very scared of her. It was just not a good sort of vibe. Then all of a sudden, one day, we had a client come in, just very angry. And it was a regular, and he had paid it for a dance with her. And he just goes off and starts telling us that Amber gave him her piece. It happened immediately after his dance with her, and we just knew that this was the point where, you're too much of a problem for us, so she was actually let go. And the last I heard was that she was staying at some seedy hotel downtown with her girlfriend, who she actually had to kick out because she started turning tricks, getting clients into her hotel room that would pay for her stay there. And it's completely illegal in Israel, so she's definitely down on her luck. We don't really care to have her back. Maybe she's going to a different club, but yeah, I'm happy I could help out with this interview.
And also says what the security guard said as well in my last video was that Amber is turning tricks and clients in her personal hotel room in Tel Aviv to make ends meet. And that's the reason why that Eve Barlow was actually strong-armed out of her hotel room, was for that reason, that she was, needing that space to earn her coin. And Eve Barlow was stuck in the crossfire. However, the person who was not stuck in the crossfire was her little baby. I mean, no mention of her baby. I even tried following up with the coworker and the surveillance person who, was in my videos. And there's no confirmation of Amber having a baby, no pictures of it either. So let's just hope that's a rental baby, because I would not want anybody to get hurt with Amber's antics anymore. So, as the worker said, this sort of work in Israel, turning clients in hotel rooms, is completely illegal. So I hope that if Australia doesn't come through with smuggling and dogs, that hopefully Amber's luck will get run out and Amber deserves prison.
You make up a false story about Amber and then finish the video off by saying she deserves prison, after you just fabricated a story about her to make her look bad? He also makes a point to say he's worried about Amber's baby. However, I find that to not be consistent with the other things he has done and said.
It's a beautiful neighborhood that she's staying in Costix, Mallorca, Spain. And it's a very quiet area. This is actually the house that she is renting. You can even see the rental sign on the door. It looks pretty humble from the outside, but on the inside, it's super swanky.
Showing the address of where you believe Amber and her baby are. Is you being concerned? Amber has received so many death threats against her and her daughter, and you thought showing the literal front door was intelligent?
So the parent of a rental baby that Amber Heard rented from her actually came out of the woodwork, as Amber would say, and spoke to me about the experience. I'm sure you're aware there was this video last week that I posted of Amber with an undescript baby in the water, and the baby looks very tranquil for some unknown reason. Well, the parent came forward to explain why. So let's get into it. The parent writes, "Hello, Joseph. I feel my English is bad. My first language is Spanish. I've answered ad on job board and I'm tied for money." I guess they mean strapped for cash. The ad was looking for a baby for photo. They want she be blonde with blue eyes, and I give you the ad attached. We'll look at the ad. They told to meet on beach in Mallorca and hand baby over for 10 minutes. I was the one who filmed the video of Amber and sent it. I thought the whole thing was crazy and scary for my girl, so I filmed it. The brown-haired woman, who I thought looked like Eve Barlow, I gave baby to, gave my girl a drink for tranquility. I guess they gave the little girl a drink, like a glass of alcohol to help calm her down for the photo shoot. They go on to write, "I did not agree with this. They gave girl alcohol. I scared and didn't say nothing. These people are scary and have no good judge. When my son give back, I relax. I filmed to make sure my girl's safe. Now they go party in Ibiza." Wow. So yeah, it's a little bit broken English there. I think they said they were Spanish, and what I get from it is they responded to an ad on a job board for a baby, for a toddler that was blonde hair, blue eyed. And then they showed up to this beach, and then it looks like a brown haired lady gave the child a shot of alcohol, it seems like, to calm it down for the photo shoot, because a lot of people have pointed out that the kid in the footage looks very calm for being in a stranger's arms. So,
well, that was a lot. Let's break it down. First thing he says is that someone specifically went to him to share her story, and not a tabloid that pays good money for a story like this. So this mother who allows her baby to be rented saw someone give her child alcohol and did nothing. She took a quick clip of them in the water. If she was a worried mother, why not record the entire transaction? Do not worry. He says more about his concern for Una.
again, this is her with her baby looking very stiff. There was that one tip I got that she actually gave the child alcohol to make the child quieter. And that's something that you see a lot with her and her paparazzi shots. She's walking around town with a stroller, but the stroller is either empty or it's closed. The baby is not making any noise. And a lot of people are kind of wondering, like, why is her baby so quiet? And in this particular instance, the baby looks very stiff and doesn't look like it wants to be around Amber. So just speculate.
Once again stating that Amber gives her baby alcohol. How does this pic show the baby not wanting to be with Amber? This is a photo. How is the baby supposed to look? Maybe she just has a chill baby.
And I can't help but notice her and Elon Musk's baby, Una Page, cowering in the corner. I mean, Una, you're all of us. I wouldn't want to be around her either.
You're joking that a baby is cowering from her mother? Is this just a huge joke to you? It's highly inappropriate to say who you believe a baby's father to be when the child's primary parent, also known as Amber, hasn't said anything. This is a human being, a child that is going to be harassed as to who her biological father is, and you are contributing. I'm not certain you care about this little girl at all.
So it looks like Amber was busted for staging photos with her sister, Whitney. Please. All right. So everybody knows about these pictures that hit the internet the other day. And also I got a lot of comments that these photos looked very staged and almost as if they were sold to TMZ. Well, an eyewitness said, quote, "Okay, so it was super weird. I was walking my dog in a park and I noticed two Americans directing this young girl on a swing set. The blonde woman looked like she was keeping watch for anyone to see them. So I quietly got closer to them and I managed to get a picture of it because I thought they were acting suspicious. The kid looked scared, like she didn't want to be there. I posted it online and my friend said it was Amber Heard and her sister Whitney. I had no idea who that was until I looked them up. And sure enough, it was Whitney directing a kid for pictures. It looked like they were practicing and there for a while. Of course, then I saw the swings pictures hit the internet later. They were definitely rehearsing that kid for a photo shoot. And that's the photo that this eyewitness managed to capture. And yeah, it looks like Whitney is directing the small child while Amber is keeping watch. But what I find very unsettling about this is how the eyewitness said that the kid didn't want to be there. And there's some speculation that Amber actually rents out children for these photo shoots to portray herself as a mother. Anyway,
another photoshopped photo and article that Joseph pretends is real. Did you see how he read that article from a news outlet? He literally photoshopped in everything you see on his screen. I will now provide the original article to what he shows.
out, and no surprise here, all of Amber's friends have turned their backs on her after the trial. So as I'm sure you know, she sold her house in Yucca Valley, so is currently a vagrant in Israel with a young baby who, if it isn't a rental one, I am genuinely concerned about that poor kid.
You don't care about that baby. So much proof.
Those embryos, man. Apparently, House and Habit, Jessica confirmed that these embryos actually existed because someone from an Los Angeles fertility clinic confirmed the rumor.
I don't really play by the same framework as a journalist. A traditional journalist is, very cautious in how the story's framed and super detail-oriented and obsessively fact-checking, which I don't always focus on. And it's really very simple. It's really just about gossip.
This woman, who just said she does not care for fact-checking. This woman, who said she just gossips.
Photographer speaks out and details the events that conspired that made her leave Amber Heard's home in Yucca Valley because she was just so weirded out by this fake doll that Amber brought out for the photo shoot. So let's get into it. Please make sure you subscribe and hit that button down below. And don't forget to like my video, and I'm going to go chase after Chester. So the photographer says, about a year ago, Amber called me to her home in Yucca Valley to photograph her. I had no expectations on what would have unfolded, so it was just a regular job to me. The first thing that took me off guard was she was clearly drinking. There were bottles everywhere, and I thought that was strange for a new mother. Two other women were there as I came in. One with short brown hair and another who was blonde. The blonde one looked kind of scared and had her hair in front of her face as if to hide a bruise or something. I would later find out that this was Amber's sister, Whitney. She barely talked. Again, she looked scared. That's when the weirdest thing happened. Amber slurred for the woman with the brown hair, who I now know as Eve Barlow, to get the doll. Whitney got a box and Eve pulled out this hyper-realistic baby doll. They left me alone for a bit and I was just staring at the doll, getting more and more creeped out. When she came back from Eve fixing her hair and wiping stains off her lips, wine stains off her lips, that's when I told her that I required a fraction of my costs up front, which she refused to wire. I thanked her for her time and decided to bail. I know many photographers were consulted for this project, so I guess one took the gig, but I don't want to be in that position again. As I was leaving, I heard Amber yelling at her sister and bottles being thrown and shattered. It sounded like she was drunk and beating her up. It was a nice place in the desert. But it truly felt like a trailer park in that moment. I just got in my car and drove off. Wow. That is creepy. The photographer managed to snap a picture of the lifelike doll before leaving. And honestly, it does really look like the doll in the photograph. So
another fake article at the bottom of the page, you see the top of 3 heads. Well, it was pretty easy to see that it was Will Smith and Margot Robbie and Cara Delevingne, so I just searched them up and found the exact article again. Fake article. Fake stories. Labeled as real. Question mark. This article is not even about Amber. Alright. We are getting towards the end of the video. Thus far I have shown multiple fake articles and fake pictures. Joseph Morris has lost all credibility. Regardless of what side you are on, he is in the wrong. This is targeted harassment, this is defamation, this is not free speech. He continues on and on, continuing to lie, continuing to belittle domestic violence, continuing to push a false narrative.
Traveling party is at least 4 people, including her sister, Whitney Hendriquez. I guess she needs a punching bag. Hey, flights are stressful. We're told it gets way worse. During her public speaking engagement, she began to fist pump when she mentioned DV. It's super awkward. Roll the clip.
Domestic
It's so clear at this point she doesn't take DV seriously.
like who I am honored to stand here and welcome to the stage next. West Hollywood Mayor Pro Tempore Lindsay Horvath, a warrior for civic and social justice. She has spearheaded policies to better serve residents of all ages and created the West Hollywood Community Response Team for Domestic Violence.
And I also think that Amber has one of Lily Rose Depp's shirts that she gives to Eve Barlow to wear. It's like super creepy and disturbing to think about. To an insider, Amber has a new gift to herself, and they reveal Amber recently bought a new gift with the words "Till Death Do Us Part" inscribed on it. She also signed it Slim, which was Johnny's nickname for her. It was a weird thing to do about a month after she lost. I'm not sure she's over Johnny or taking it well, but I'm more concerned about Johnny and her kid. Now, this insider doesn't know that I believe this kid actually may be a rental baby.
Different words above tweet. He has fabricated yet another story to continue on with this narrative of Amber being violent and crazed.
Like Elon Musk's transgender daughter, who is now estranged from him, has put Amber on blast. And I mean, she has nothing to lose. This is absolutely crazy. All right, so Vivian Wilson is her name, right? I don't talk to my dad anymore, especially after he dated Amber. Amber blanked him and also used blank throughout their relationship. She would throw parties where I would see her bring minors into our house. Wow, that is a bombshell and kind of gives substance to House and Habits allegations. So
Elon Musk has multiple children, so why I am uncertain this is in fact Vivian. This article says Vivian was with her father and Amber the day that photo was taken. They went ziplining. Why would she circle his red face when she knows it's from doing physical activities that she was present for?
a bombshell as well. She is smuggling blank into Spain using furniture and needs to be in prison. And it's captured with this lady right here. So this is the lady we're talking about. Vivian said that Amber is smuggling in, into the country. In a leaked email to Brad Pitt that has resurfaced, Angelina Jolie says that she's nothing like Amber Heard. But is she? Okay, so y'all may hate me for this, but I want to know what you guys think about this. Whose side are you on, Angelina Jolie or Brad Pitt? I'm kind of on the fence right now, believe it or not, and I haven't made up my mind, but let me know.
In Angelina Jolie's leaked email, she says she can't be a part of the winery morally given that Brad Pitt struggles with alcohol, the same woman who made out with her brother and slept with Brad while he was still married to Jennifer Aniston. Justice for Brad. Angelina Jolie slept with Billy Bob Thornton while he was married to Laura Dern. Jolie made a 60-page family-style spread called Domestic Bliss with Brad Pitt while he was still finalizing his divorce with Jennifer Aniston. Angelina Jolie wanted sole custody of their kids, but the judge decided on 50-50, denying her allegations of abuse. The FBI didn't believe her claims either. Brad Pitt now has a strained relationship with his kids from Angelina poisoning their minds. Thanks for the engagement on the Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt controversy and how it relates to Amber Heard. I have put my thoughts into a video. Maybe the reason why Brad doesn't speak to his kids is because he abused them and their mother? Why blame Angelina? I'm seeing a pattern of villainizing women.
But this is what she writes in that email, quote, "I am definitely not like Amber Heard. The pain and struggle I have is real."
Since Amber's presence publicly has lessened, he has moved on to villainizing more women like Angelina Jolie and Meghan Markle. He has also posted photoshopped pictures and stories on his Twitter. It's one thing to hate Amber and not believe her. It's another thing entirely to make up lies in the hopes of making more money by speaking poorly about her. Insiders suggest Johnny Depp lost his teeth from being poisoned after the trial. Who was trying to kill him, Amber Heard? Appeal over Johnny Depp release his new evidence that blows the case open. Amber Heard wrote a post-it note where she admits to slicing Johnny's finger off. Closer look at image. From the DMs, Amber Heard caught hiring a hitman? Closer look at image. 2 different days, same terrible photoshopped photo. Amber Heard arrested. Closer look at image, terrible Photoshop. In this tweet he states that a 15-year-old who killed multiple people screamed out "Fuck Amber Heard, justice for Johnny Depp." He's literally stating Amber was the motive for this kid to kill multiple people. But again, a blatant lie. He shows an article which I found and it does not mention Amber or Johnny at all. Austin Thompson, 15, killed his 16-year-old brother and 4 others in Raleigh, North Carolina yesterday, including an officer on his way to work. No motive yet. Amber Heard was the motive behind Austin Thompson opening fire on the suburban neighborhood of Raleigh, North Carolina, killing 3 women along with his brother and an officer. Image included in tweet. Closer look. WRAL reported citing anonymous sources. Neighbor said they heard the young boy yell "Fuck Amber Heard" and "Justice for Johnny Depp" before killing 5. The actual article. No mention of Amber or Johnny. In his image you can see the bottom and top of the other paragraphs in the article. Those match up with this actual article. That is how I know his is made up and photoshopped to make it seem like the New York Post would publish this. This was posted more than a year ago on his community tab. He states, and I quote, "People are treating my videos as if they are factual information, but these are user-submitted tips that I discuss." He isn't even speaking about Amber in this post, but about how when Gabby Petito went missing he was posting inaccurate information just like he is now about Amber. He goes on to say, "The purpose of my videos are to increase public knowledge. I am working on being better reporting as my channel grows. I know repeatedly put a disclaimer on my videos and will be citing my sources more accurately. Pause if you would like to read his statement in full." Joseph Morris will continue to spread and fabricate lies about people. He has no integrity, no morals, and has lost all credibility. He should not be allowed to spread lies about someone, and he should be held responsible for the lies he has already made. I have already reported his channel and videos, but nothing has been done. Please share this video. If you can make your own video, let others know that Joseph Morris is not a reliable source. You should not believe anything he says. Check the description for all articles used in today's video. I have also made a Twitter thread if you would like to look at the evidence closer to truly understand what this man has done. That is also in the description. Thank you.
Freedom of speech doesn't protect. I'm not a lawyer, full disclosure, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't protect lies, full-on lies that destroy people's career. So good luck with that one, Amber. I don't think you're going to win it. Presently at a loss due to a lack of projects and endorsements. Go figure, defaming someone has consequences and is not protected by the First Amendment, by the way.
And just when I get ready to release this video, he goes and makes another false claim video against Amber. Let's take a look. New secret cam catches Amber Heard hiring hitman.
Looks like Amber Heard will stop at nothing to not pay Johnny Depp back the $10.35 million she owes him. All right, so there's a ton of articles right now coming out about how different Johnny Depp looks since the trial, and people are even saying he looks unrecognizable. This person writes, he looks terrible. Another person writes, he looks so different in these photos. I didn't realize it was him. Am I the only one that thought it was Ozzy Osbourne? And then finally, he looks like he hasn't got any teeth. But the change behind his new look may be a lot more nefarious than we thought. They're going as far as to Photoshop new photos of him. And that's the reason why he looks so different, because there's allegations that there was an attempted murder and he's been poisoned. So you can see on the left here, he has like pus filled on his face, and then on the right, they try to Photoshop it all out. An insider close to the star says Johnny Depp is covering up an attempted murder after the trial. His food was spiked with dioxin, resulting in pus on his skin. His enamel's been eroded and has paralysis on his face. He recently undergone dental surgery and had to shave off his beard, but he is recovering and he still doesn't know who did it. An anonymous tip came through that reads, quote, "Not going to give away my identity for obvious reasons, but Amber tried to hire me as a hitman after the trial. She'll do anything to not pay Johnny back." And that looks exactly like Amber in a car, possibly working out a deal to unalive Johnny. So as you know, Amber is appealing her $10.35 million judgment. And in retaliation, Johnny Depp is appealing the $2 million judgment awarding to Amber. And it looks like it's really good appeal for Johnny, but
Over 4,000 views in less than 2 hours. Joseph Morris needs to be deplatformed. He has proven time and time again he is an untrustworthy source.